So little Maitri has been taken to class first time, seen 20 or 30 other kids, noisy, this, that. For your brain, it is very hard to make sense of things. And ऊपर से teacher ने बोला कि Maitri, come to the front of the class and introduce yourself. For some child, that may be a happy moment. For you, if you happen to be somebody who's quiet, it will be like a nightmare. It's as good as you being put in front of, like, taken to the, in a gladiator's pit, and the whole audience is there ready to laugh at you, make fun of you, and upar se lion is also there ready to eat you. It would have felt like life or death almost, or like you're being judged by a tribe. Some teacher would have said, go back and practice making a speech, and you said, I learned to cope by acting, very brave, or wearing this kind of dress and showing up like I don't care. So your story became, when I feel scared, I act like I don't care.
Hmm.
Relationships or workplace, when you're older, when something happens that has the potential to hurt Maitri, instead of talking about it with your partner or your friend or with a colleague, saying, listen, this is work I'm not uncomfortable with, or when you say this it feels hurtful, what will you do? You'll model that same behavior of I don't care, that we are not deliberately self-sabotaging, and all of our saboteurs will feel very familiar but very rackety. It's a very familiar game that plays out over and over again.
Hello, Sassy Nari. Welcome back to Little Fixes, the podcast that keeps it real about the layered and brilliant lives we are living as women. So, have you ever set a goal, made a plan, and then watched Netflix for 4 hours instead of working on it? Or said yes to something you absolutely didn't want to do just to keep the peace? तो आप अकेले नहीं हैं, मैंने भी किया है, बहुत सारे और लोगों ने भी ये किया हुआ है। ये जो टेंडेंसी है ये हमारे सेल्फ सैबोटाजिंग पैटर्न से आती है। सेल्फ सैबोटाजिंग मतलब अपने ही आप को, अपनी ही वैल्यू को अंडरमाइन करना थ्रू सेल्फ डिस्ट्रक्टिव बिहेवियर्स। इन दिस एपिसोड वी आर कॉलिंग आउट आवर टेंडेंसी टू सेल्फ सैबोटाज. It shows up as overthinking, procrastination, perfectionism, guilt, control freak tendencies. जैसे किसी और ने कोई काम कर दिया लेकिन आपको बिल्कुल अपने तरीके से ही चाहिए, तो यू विल रीडू इट. माय गेस्ट टुडे इज संध्या कृष्णन. She is an executive life coach and wellness coach who works with professionals to help them reconnect with themselves with clarity and purpose, build on their core strengths and values, and lead a life that actually feels like their own. Sandhya is here to help us unpack all the sneaky ways women sabotage themselves at home, at work, in parenting, in relationships, and even inside our own heads. So, we are talking about why we get in our own way, how to spot the patterns, and what to do instead. और इस कॉन्वर्सेशन में हमने किसी भी जार्गन का यूज नहीं किया है. वी हैव ट्राइड टू कीप इट सिंपल, एक्शनेबल एंड रिलेटेबल लाइक ऑलवेज. So, if you're tired of your own excuses, but also kind of scared of your own ambition, stick around because this one is truly juicy. Please help me bring more such conversations to you. Subscribe to Little Fixes on YouTube and follow the podcast on your podcast app. Hi, Sandhya. Welcome to Little Fixes.
Hi, Maitri. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for dressing up so nicely for the podcast. I always dress up in t-shirts, so I'm happy to have a guest who is very nicely put together.
Well, I don't need an excuse, but thank you for giving me an excuse to dress up. So I love dressing up in saris. So it's been my absolute
Yes.
pleasure.
Yes, and I have seen like when it comes to women, we are like mostly trying to shrink. कि चलो इतना बड़ा चढ़ा के अपने आप को नहीं दिखाना है, नहीं तो people will think कि I am an attention seeker or something like that. और uh, मेरे साथ भी ऐसा ही था, अभी भी ऐसा नहीं है कि बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. And even when I used to get opportunities कि हाँ कुछ different कर सकते हैं, then I used to say no कि नहीं ये चीज़ नहीं करनी है. एंड मतलब मुझे वो चीज़ चाहिए होती थी बट मैं नहीं लेती थी. बट मुझे समझ नहीं आता था, मुझे लगता था आई एम नॉट रेडी फॉर इट, आई एम नॉट गुड इनफ फॉर इट. फिर मुझे कुछ सालों बाद पता चला कि इट इज़ कॉल्ड सेल्फ सैबोटाज व्हेन आई वाज वर्किंग विद माय लाइफ कोच लाइक बैक इन 21-22. तो उन्होंने मुझे बताया कि हमारे तरह तरह के सैबोटेयर्स होते हैं, वी मेड सम अवतार्स एंड एवरीथिंग. I worked on it, but ऐसा नहीं है कि I got some big change in my life कि नहीं सब कुछ change हो गया. But yes, obviously awareness के साथ धीरे धीरे काम करना शुरू किया. और अभी भी आई सी अ लॉट ऑफ women जो सेल्फ सैबोटाज में जाती रहती हैं, करते रहते हैं, उनको पता भी नहीं होता है. तो सबसे पहले तो संध्या यही क्लैरिफाई करते हैं कि सेल्फ सैबोटाज दिखता कैसा है, क्योंकि हमें पता ही नहीं होता, इट्स वेरी स्नीकी। तो इन योर वर्क व्हाट हैव यू सीन?
Actually, ये मेरा favorite topic है, and I'll use the words of Daniel Kahneman, who won the Nobel Prize for his work that's similar to self-sabotage. I'll use another word for it, which is cognitive bias. And one of the things that he had said in an interview was that just because I wrote the book on it doesn't mean that I am immune to it, right? Because by definition, self-sabotage or cognitive biases is that they are blind spots within us, and we are very often not aware that we are doing it until after, or at least in those who've done the inner work will first learn to recognize it after. As we get better, one of the analogies I use is, think of it like a patila of milk, right? The first time we realize whether it's anger or self sabotage, the first time we are even aware is after it's boiled over. And keep in mind, you think that everybody should be able to see that milk has boiled over. No. Sometimes people will let their anger boil over and they will carry on with their life, right, onto the next, mountain to climb, the next big war to fight, whatever, not even bothering to see how much milk they have wasted, how much milk they have burnt, how much they've damaged their own equipment. So we must not even assume that awareness should come naturally, right? Sometimes we have to get a huge jhatka, or somebody has to really shake us up, or life will shake us up, or we could have moments of pause and self-learning and self-work, like you did by working with the professional to try and understand this. Now, to your question, how do we even recognize this? I mean, besides like life giving us jhatka and a rude shock or a wake-up call or whatever it is, one way to recognize is actually when that milk is boiling. Just to continue with that analogy or metaphor, when that milk is boiling, one thing is always you can be sure is that you will feel familiar rackety feelings. Now, I don't want, they will always make you, when you are in the process of self-sabotaging, it feels both familiar, but when I say the word rackety, it isn't even really a proper English word. What the word is, there's a racket, and racket is an idea from psychology, which is like a familiar game that's happening. It's a repeating pattern. How it shows up for different people will be in different ways. Like, this is making me feel anxious, I'm feeling nervous, or it might feel like I must do this. Or if one of our self-sabotaging patterns is controlling, then it will feel like I see this going out of my control, and I have to bring it back in my control. So you see these, you will learn to recognize this chatter in our head, and our unique head's chatter will be a few stories that, and what are these? Nobody deliberately tries to self-sabotage. Believe it or not, we are not, to use a very politically incorrect term, we are not idiots, and we are not deliberately self-sabotaging. Why do we go to these? These are the ways in which our little girl, our little boy, our little child self learned to cope with the brain that was not yet fully mature, and with the, at a time in our lives when we had very little understanding, agency, or even the ability to see beyond black or white. Think of a situation कि, on your first day of school, आप गए स्कूल में, you may have been a slightly quieter child, and what you would have liked preferably in a perfect world would have been कि मम्मी पापा ने बोला कि okay, Maitri, we see you're like this, maybe we'll put you, maybe if you're not yet ready for school, we can start 6 months later. And even the school that you will be taken to is a smaller, quieter school with smaller class size, with more compassionate teachers, and you may not be somebody who loves waking up at 7 o'clock, be there, recognizing who the child is and helping that child to express herself. Now, in real life, we rarely get this, and nor are we even able to articulate this. So, little Maitri has been taken to class first time, seen 20 or 30 other kids, noisy, this, that. For your brain, it is very hard to make sense of things. And ऊपर से teacher ने बोला कि Maitri, come to the front of the class and introduce yourself. For some child, that may be a happy moment. For you, if you happen to be somebody who's quiet, it will be like a nightmare. It's as good as you being put in front of, like, taken to the, in a gladiator's pit, and the whole audience is there ready to laugh at you, make fun of you, and upar se lion is also there ready to eat you. It would have felt like life or death almost, or like you're being judged by a tribe. And so much of our primitive brain, and our brain is very primitive, it is 50 to 100,000 years old and hasn't changed very much in that much time. So for you to learn to cope. Maybe the first time the experience was not so pleasant. So you would have learned that some teacher would have said, go back and practice making a speech. And you said, I learned to cope by acting, very brave, or wearing this kind of dress and showing up like I don't care. So your story became, when I feel scared, I act like I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships or workplace, when you're older, when something happens that has the potential to hurt, Maitri, instead of talking about it with your partner or your friend or with a colleague, saying, listen, this is work I'm not uncomfortable with, or when you say this it feels hurtful, what will you do? You'll model that same behavior of I don't care. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because it kept you safe once upon a time. So
Mm-hmm.
the long and short of it is that we are not deliberately self-sabotaging, and all of our saboteurs will feel very familiar but very rackety. It's a very familiar game that plays out over and over again. And until we become aware of it, one is the big first step, but we also need to take several other steps to actually change the story. You can't just tell your brain, don't do this, don't do this. Your brain doesn't know how to not
Not do
unsee
that. Yeah.
something. We have to tell our brain what to do instead, but also make the environment kind so that it doesn't feel like you're going back into that gladiator's den, whatever pit before. So some things, different people, different degrees of change, which is why it's not so easy as well.
हम्म। हाँ, जैसे आपने बोला ना संध्या, तो उससे मुझे बहुत सारी चीजें और बहुत सारे लोग याद आ रहे हैं कि कोई अपने आप को ज्यादा काम करके सैबोटाइज कर रहा है, ओवर वर्किंग में जा रहा है, कोई पीपल प्लीजिंग में जा रहा है, कोई ओवर अचीवर बन गया है, कोई बिल्कुल ही अपने आप को एक शट डाउन कर लिया है कि अब मुझे कहीं जाना ही नहीं है। तो देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ वेज, है ना। और जो हमारा लाइफ है उसमें बहुत सारे फ्रंट्स हैं। अगर हम विमेन की बात करें तो घर का फ्रंट हो गया, हमारे रिलेशनशिप्स हो गए, वर्क हो गया, सेल्फ टॉक हो गई, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं। तो इसमें सेल्फ सैबोटाज किस किस तरीके से इम्पैक्ट कर सकता है क्या? जैसे आपने बोला भी कि बचपन से आता है, तो एक तो सोशल कंडीशनिंग भी होती है, और हम फिर ऐसी चीजें ले लेते हैं जो हम बाद में लगता है कि ऐसा ये का काम हमने पकड़ा ही क्यों था, बिकॉज वी वर ट्राइंग टू प्लीज अदर्स, या मतलब डिफरेंट डोमेन्स में डिफरेंट एग्जाम्पल्स हो सकते हैं। तो क्या है, अगर हम अलग अलग डोमेन की बात करें तो मान लीजिए हो सकता है घर पे मैं अलग तरीके से अपने आप को सैबोटाइज कर रही हूँ, वर्क में मैं अलग तरीके से कर रही हूँ, ऐसा होता है, या फिर हमारा एक टेंडेंसी होती है और हम सब जगह एक ही इंसान बन के अलग वही चीज करते रहते हैं?
आपने एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट शब्द यूज किया, कंडीशनिंग, सोशल कंडीशनिंग, राइट? I'll you take that and expand a little bit. एक saying है, who was, and I'm sorry, I'm using you literally, I'm not using you as an example, I'm just saying Maitri because you're in front of me, right? Okay. Shall I say Sandhya?
नहीं नहीं, इट्स ओके, इट्स ओके।
the we are not conditioned. Well, technically we could be conditioned from birth, but we are usually not capable of taking in that conditioning in our very early years. Why? Because the child in the very early years is egocentric. All we know is ourselves, and we just trust that there is a tribe around us to take care of us. And why? Because our brain takes so many years to actually mature and develop, right? 9 months in the womb, and then 24, 25, 26 years after to actually even mature. Even the WHO recognizes 24 as the end of adolescence, and we expect children to start showing maturity by age 3, 4, whatever. Now 9 months also we start taking them for Little Genius class or God knows what else, right? So where does this, a very good question about how do we condition, how is this conditioning happening, and do we behave the same way in every situation? It's different strokes for different folks, मैं बोलूंगी. But the first question to ask ourselves was, who was Maitri before she was conditioned? Right? In your very early years, please trust that you are much more likely to express your intrinsic personality traits, almost if I like your genetic personality, and our self-sabotaging traits will either be learned from people around us. जैसे कि हमने सुना होगा कि अच्छा आप बाहर जा रहे हो ना, प्लेग्राउंड में किसी के साथ झगड़ा मत करना, कुछ कभी भी अच्छा नहीं होता है. You heard that message from one of your parents or your older siblings, or teacher said, or sometimes we even get these messaging from media around us, hoardings or movies that we watch. I remember there was a hoarding near my house which had a toddler in a suit carrying a file and a laptop saying, "Are you MBA ready?" And I was like,
Mm.
oh my God, nothing to make children go beyond. And the toddler is thinking, oh, I'm not MBA ready. But I'm like, sweetheart, at age 3, you are not supposed to be MBA ready.
Yes.
So you see how the conditioning happens. So one is,
Mm.
it could be messaging that we have received from the outside. On the other hand, it could be our own behaviors or traits that we over rely on. So
Mm.
behind the overachiever, for example, may actually be a child who would have liked, maybe, let's just say I'm an overachiever in mathematics. Okay, I'm not. But suppose I had an intrinsic love for mathematics, and compared to my peers, I seemed to find mathematics easier. Suddenly, I found that the world was rewarding me. So I said, "Oh my God, I am mathematics. I'm all about mathematics." I over rely on that particular strength. Or look at Sandhya, she's so helpful. Or look at Maitri, she's so sweet. She never causes any problem in any situation. So we over rely on that, and then what we're doing in the meanwhile is we're suppressing other sides of ourselves, or we tell ourselves that, look, I need to be this sweet girl in order to be acceptable. But the subtext of that is that who I am, or the entirety of who I am, will not be acceptable. So I have to show only that side of myself. So, depending on what we're told is aspirational in the workplace, what we're told is aspirational in our social groups, in our family group, we may adapt according to different situations.
हम्म। तो हमारे इतने सारे पर्सोनास बन जाते हैं, तो हमें फिर पता ही कैसे चलेगा संध्या, कैसे हम पता कर सकते हैं कि हु एम आई बियॉन्ड ऑल ऑफ दिस?
Wonderful question, and it is the work of many behavioral scientists, psychologists, and everybody's looking for that. I'll tell you broadly what the science is or the research is, and how I apply it to different people. So I draw from different sources and different authorities. Broadly, I rely on the fact that there seem to be some intrinsic personality traits that we have that remain unchanging largely throughout our lives. And earlier we thought that, we have to model behaviors to become acceptable in the workplace. So I'll give you one example. Introversion and extroversion, we are on a scale. It's a scale. And earlier we thought that इंट्रोवर्ट को कैसे भी एक्सट्रोवर्ट बनाना है, नहीं तो वो कभी भी लीडर नहीं बनेगा. टीच देम पब्लिक स्पीकिंग, मेक देम पुश देम इन द मेक देम वॉक ऑन द फायर, टीच देम लीडरशिप स्किल्स, whatever. And now we realize that, my God, introverts can make fabulous leaders also if they have other traits, just as extroverts will not automatically make fabulous leaders at all necessarily. So one is, when you recognize that there are, let's work with the hypothesis, there are some intrinsic personality traits. And like I said, in the early years of our lives, before we were socialized, another less generous word is before we were contaminated by messaging from others. Oh, look at Maitri, she's so sweet. Oh, look at Sandhya, she's so helpful. Right? Before our child brain internalized these messages, who were we? There are some tests that are validated, that are relatively more evidence based, to find some of these intrinsic personality traits. One of them is called the Big Five personality traits. There's another one called the VIA Strengths Finder. These are all freely available, and these are two of the more evidence-based, validated tests for discovering some of our strengths and personalities, a lot more than the other psychometric or workplace use. They're also largely unspectacular, as most truly validated personality tests will be, right? If it was so, if somebody could write our whole script for us, how nice. We wouldn't have to do any of the work. But then we're also, accepting somebody else's version of how we think we ought to show up, कैसे पेशा किया जाए. That's one. And the other is also, we recognize some patterns that we automatically gravitate towards. And I'll say this, that let us assume that the natural child, I'll use the word natural child, and that natural child, my hope is, will be alive in us throughout our lives. And to the best of my understanding, I'm not a psychotherapist, that unless we have had, severe trauma or adverse circumstances or illness that causes us to shut that side down, that natural child never goes away in us. And who is that natural child? It's where our curiosity goes. It's where our sense of awe and wonder naturally is. It's where we feel engaged, and where you, Maitreya, feel more alive, right? And I'm using the word engagement. The word fun, from a neuroscience perspective, actually has a certain number of components. It's not, fun is not just lying down and watching OTT and eating popcorn, right? That's very passive entertainment. That may be a dopamine hit. what we define as fun is actually something that we have an intrinsic proclivity towards, interest towards, motivation towards, but also is engaging for us, which means that our brain is activated to either do something or create something. It's not just passive. Right? That's the true definition of fun. So, what is fun for you? It may seem like something very, in fact, there's research was printed in Harvard Business Review that some of the most talented people don't use the best of their skills and strengths because it's not what they may have got a degree in, or may not be what they consider as aspirational as a job. Okay, so your greatest strength may be in being that person who recognizes, say in an office situation, you may be the person who quietly goes to the new joinee, new reportee, and says, hey, I see this is your first day. Do you need a hand, understanding things around you? Now, we never rewarded this in the workplace, nor did we give people like designations around that or big bonus around something like this. But this is what we call a real human skill. Right. And especially today, when so many of the other skills that were once rewarded, oh, we are so good at mathematics, analysis, statistics, we are so good in counting numbers or projecting, all of these there's something that does so much better than us in all of these with far less error and never gets tired, which is machines. Then all the more reason why we need to find what these skills are. So I'll use the words, just to recap again: curiosity, fun, engagement, feeling of aliveness, and also looking back to discover what that past story was. Whenever you get a chance, look to your early childhood, your very early childhood. What were some of the traits you intrinsically displayed? You may remember some of them you will actually have forgotten as well. Right. And actually bring them back today and see how you feel when you express those traits. It's an imperfect exercise, and it's not all about passion or I like this and I don't like this. Neither passion nor likes and dislikes just in themselves have been found to be very reliable as an indicator of either what we truly are or what will even last lifelong. But look for these recurring themes is what I would invite people to do.
ओके। अगर संध्या हमने ये सब पता कर लिया कि क्या-क्या चीज़ें हैं व्हिच मेक अस फील अलाइव, जिसमें हमें क्यूरियोसिटी आती है, सब है। फिर इसको हम कैसे अपनी लाइफ में ला सकते हैं या किस तरीके से उसको अपने इम्प्रूवमेंट के लिए यूज़ कर सकते हैं?
Just as with our self-sabotaging patterns, just knowing it will not be enough, right? Our saboteurs will pull us very quickly back into, no, don't do this, Sandhya. It's not going to be safe. Why will we? Okay. So we do have a strong tendency to continue in the path that we once were set on. Right. So I'll actually say that for some people, just knowing is enough, right? Like I'm a lawyer by qualification, and so much of the narrative when I went to law school was, oh my God, you got into this law school, it's so prestigious. And then it was like, oh my God, you graduated, now you're going to become a big corporate lawyer or a litigation lawyer or whatever. The sooner I realized that at 18 my brain was not fully mature and I made some choices, but I could see how disengaged I was. I could see how this was actually enhancing my own saboteurs or myself. It was making me so insecure, uncomfortable. I was surrounded by people that I simply could not resonate in. I felt like I could not express my natural child self. For me, it was easy to make the shift into other areas. Now in that also we sometimes have cognitive fallacies, right? And one of the big fallacies that we have is immediacy bias, or what you see is all there is. So it's like you've dated one kind of guy, and he was again, absolutely no judgment, but like say he was this like leather jacket biker kind of guy, and you think that, oh, this guy didn't work for me, so the next guy has got to be so very goody and doesn't take any risk. And we jump to extremes, black or white thinking. That's another cognitive fallacy that we have, another way in which we self-sabotage. But the truth may be somewhere in between as well. So it's important that we pause. One easier way of doing it is slowly, धीरे धीरे से make time to express the sides of yourself that feel like you. कभी कभी ना हमें try भी करना पड़ता है. बचपन में अगर हमें music पसंद था और for 20 years you've not done anything in music, We don't know yet if you want to be just a listener of music, कि आपको कुछ बजाना है, कि आपको दोस्तों के साथ कहीं जाके karaoke करना है. How does that music express itself? You may have once loved, Hindi film music. Maybe today your tastes are slightly different. And so one is, don't be too quick to make an extreme jump. Start making space for it in your life and start to express it. And you'll start to also find, one of the things I work with people on, I ask them to do is actually start making like a laundry list of all of the things that you like. They could be subjects you enjoyed in school, not necessarily the ones that you got good marks for or were rewarded for, right? We can develop skills and proficiencies in areas that we may have no intrinsic motivation for. And one way to find motivations is to understand what might be our intrinsic motivation, is also to see, does this align with our values? Like, I have a lot of skill maybe in operations and in management, but somehow my values seem to be more around people and growth and transcendence and meaning and beauty and peace. So take encourage the skills that seem to align, also the likes and dislikes. See if you can align it with your values as well, and start making time. Again, there is the biggest pushback I always get is कि समय ही नहीं है, इतने busy है हम लोग. Like you said, we wear so many hats, especially as women. तो मैं बोलती हूँ कि at least start with 20 minutes in a week. ठीक है, Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock, when the house is relatively quiet, whatever. If you felt like languages is one of your things, you want to learn Italian or you want to learn Marathi, take 20 minutes and see. Make that time, make that space. We will always, one of the other cognitive fallacies that we have is the sense of time scarcity. Actually, the feeling of to transition to a feeling of time abundance is much more positively correlated to happiness than even material abundance. Okay. So when you recognize that, you'll say, okay, can I make at least 20 minutes for myself, even in the busiest of times? You spending 20 minutes learning Marathi over 52 weeks will actually will slowly start bringing Marathi, not just you'll build skills in it, but you're also bringing Marathi to front and center of your brain. So it'll start to overlap with other areas of your life. You'll get more opportunities to wear Marathi, to speak Marathi, sorry. Just as I look for every opportunity to wear a sari, when those opportunities come to me, my choices become simpler. When in doubt, I know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is on my list of likes. Let me see how much I can make them overlap. And then what will also start to happen is we will pay less attention to the things that aren't as important to us. And we start building proficiency in the areas that are important to us. And the byproduct of that usually will be opportunities will come our way, or we will find rewards in that, or we will find ways in which to make it applicable to the world. Loosely, you'll find your ikigai, if I had to use a shortcut phrase there, right? If I have to use a heuristic, you'll find your ikigai, because not only what you love, but because it aligns with values, and values tend to be more universal than simply just our likes, then you're likely to find a place where values find resonance, and therefore a place in which you can apply your skills, in which it brings value to the world. And from our longer term research, we do find that the happiest of jobs and the most fulfilling of jobs seems to be the ones in which we are useful, or we bring value, or we solve a pain point in the world in one way or the other. And that pain point doesn't all have to be, I'm helping people who are most unhelped. Your greatest joy may be in bringing laughter to people's lives, maybe bringing beauty to people's lives with art. But you're not only focused on yourself. I'll summarize it with a quote from Pablo Picasso, who said, "The meaning of life is to find yourself. Find yourself. The purpose of life is to give it away. Take the very thing that you are and touch the world with it."
हाँ, और इसमें बस मुझे एक चीज़ ये भी लगती है कि जो आपका पैशन है, वो अगर आपका जॉब बन जाता है, तो आई थिंक एक्सपेक्टेशन बढ़ जाती है। तो कहीं न कहीं आई ट्राई टू पुल बैक फ्रॉम इट, क्योंकि चाहे कितना भी कोई काम के लिए आप पैशनेट हो, चाहे वो आपके बचपन से निकल के आ रहा हो कि नहीं मुझे यही करना था, बट कभी ना कभी यू विल स्टार्ट फीलिंग बर्न्ड आउट बाय दैट। ऐसा नहीं है कि यू विल स्टॉप डूइंग इट या यू शुड स्टॉप डूइंग इट, बट उस इसके भी दो मतलब एस्पेक्ट्स होते हैं, जैसे कहते हैं पैशन होगा तो यू विल नॉट हैव टू वर्क फॉर इवन अ सिंगल डे। पर उल्टा भी हो जाता है, बिकॉज अगर जब आप उससे अगर मनी का एस्पेक्ट जुड़ गया तो फिर एक प्रेशर आ जाता है आपके ऊपर। और अगर आपने डिलीवर नहीं किया उस चीज को, कि मैंने सोचा था कि मैं इतने लोगों की हेल्प करूंगी अपने काम से, नहीं कर पाए तो यू विल फील बैड। तो देयर आर सो मेनी लेयर्स टू इट। चाहे हम लेकिन जैसे आपने बोला संध्या, कि चाहे हम उस चीज को अपने लिए ही कर रहे हैं या फिर वी आर डूइंग इट फॉर द ग्रेटर गुड, इट हेल्प्स अस, राइट? तो इसका और फिर सेल्फ सैबोटाज का क्या कनेक्शन है?
So you use the word passion. I will say that passion is, first of all, something very hard to research in pure behavioral science,
Mhm.
and it is been found to be a rather unreliable metric for how it translates into either happiness or sustainability or a career. It has been found to be an unreliable metric. Okay, so just as likes and dislikes are, तो मैं ये कहूँगी कि it's not, one is that for your passion, test it out. You, in answer to your to the specific question around passion, for some people actually passion can stay lifelong, or for the length of a career, or it
Yes.
could be something that that they will do whether they are getting money for it or not. For other people, converting their passion into a career actually kills the joy, as you have given the example of. But the other side is also true. For others, passion can be a career as well, and it could sustain them, right?
Yeah.
So the answer really will be the only answers that I have been able to find in the work that I'm doing. And again, I'm relying on some research that came out of some uh, basically relying on research that came out of Harvard, both on passion and on how you make a life of value, is twofold. One is, like I said, take your interests. I said laundry list of interests. So uska matlab hai, we were never just one or two things. Maitri. Some people may have very few areas and they may be hyper focused, but I truly believe that most of us will have a few areas, a few motivations. Like, I'm not only creative, I'm not only mathematical. I love that there are the few. Think of it this way: that if life is a rainbow or a buffet, there's certain segments in which we like to operate. I like 1, 2, 3 and one item from dessert. You're not, if you try and consume the entire buffet, you will overload yourself, you'll kill yourself, you'll enjoy no flavor, your plate will be just a mishmash. But to create a life of design, we pick and choose the areas with which we find resonance and values, and what we try and do is just show up for these often enough, and slowly things will, a behavioral scientist said to me once that very often the actual direction your career takes is an accident of the opportunities that come your way. But what is in your hands is how you show up for the things that are interesting to you. And you have to also help the world by telling the world, right? So I regularly encourage my clients to talk about their not just passions, but also their interests, to put their hands up for occasions when they can apply that. So, for example, one of my friends loves like organizing events and using a lot of DIY and creating beautiful things. So although she works as maybe I shouldn't mention the profession because there's so few of her in the world in that particular profession. So it's a very specific and highly analytical profession. And like I said, very few of these in the world. Her her interest, or what, she didn't even consider it a skill, was actually all of this. So what she started off by doing was she put her hand up when her close friend was going to get married, and she said, I will organize the bridal shower for you.
Hmm.
And the sheer joy that she got out of expressing that side, and she just worked on it over 3-4 weekends, and suddenly another friend said, hey, can you do our bridal shower? So unusual. The very imperfection that we are, bringing her analytical mind plus her love for DIY plus her love for events, suddenly gave her a very unique slant to the very act of event organization. Right now, whether it will become a career for her or not will depend on a couple of things more, which is that, do her values align with, does she want to inhabit? Another very important factor which I didn't mention earlier is the environment, right? If she wanted to become a wedding planner or whatever, is that an environment in which she will thrive? do you like being around new brides and new grooms and dealing with family and dealing with money and dealing with vendors and dealing with payments? It's not that you have to love each element of this, but the environment in which we operate does matter. We are very tribal beings, so the people we collaborate with does matter. And then I'll say that there are certain other life domains that also matter to us. One will be finances, the second will be what we loosely call work life balance, but I would rather frame it as you have 24 hours for which we must all sleep for 7 to 9 hours, is what the science tells us. तो बाकी के टाइम पे 15-16 hours जो भी हैं, how do you want to spend that 15-16 hours? Apply it in the areas that in a few of the areas that feel meaningful to you. अभी हर रोज हम लोग नहीं कर सकते हैं, तो what I say is loosely try and do it in a week. Try and make sure, like I said, 20 minutes for the language that you love, 1 hour a week doing dance if dance is what you love, spend 2 hours. Very often our workplace facilitates this as well. Spend 2 hours learning and honing your skills in a subject that is maybe already a part of your workplace, but something that you anyway enjoy. So what we're doing is we're progressing on a few levels. We have to build certain proficiency for it to go into the realm of fun and engagement, right? So then it will be the accident of the opportunity. But today we know from the future of work sort of research and thought, and that we are all loosely, I'll say as a rule of thumb, we should not just have one career that takes up entire 16 hours of our day. That's not going to be very right. We are 1.5 at least career wise, but certainly that's why we say how important hobbies are. That's why it's so important for you to show up for your other life domains. The fact that you are good at conflict resolution within your family, for example, you will only know that, Maitri, if you show up for family events and happen to be around when that conflict. You can't manufacture that, right? And in that, you'll suddenly realize that, hey, I seem to have a natural skill for this. And when you tie that in with several other life domains, you may actually find that the job that gives you the best work-life balance and money may be you being, I don't know, like a hostage negotiator, right? And there's no age in which you can't pivot to something like that, because it will also then give you time to express your other life domains or your other intrinsic skills.
यस। और अगर संध्या हम अपने जो स्किल्स हैं, हमारी जो लाइक्स डिसलाइक्स हैं, पैशंस हैं, जो भी हम बोलें इसको, अगर हम उसको एक्सप्रेस कर पा रहे हैं, चाहे अपने काम के थ्रू, चाहे अपनी हॉबीज के थ्रू, फिर ये हमारा सेल्फ सैबोटाज का पैटर्न रोकने में कैसे हेल्प करेगा?
Sorry, yes, I forgot to answer that part of it. So agar hamara sabotaging self is I'll say it's basically us going away from our natural child and going into our coping child. And when does the child need to cope? The child, this is think of it simply as, like, I went back to our prehistoric brain. When do we need to cope? We need to cope when we are being taken into that gladiator's den or taken into that new classroom, or we have to cope when we are put into situations that are uncomfortable, or we have to cope when we have too many tabs open, or we cope when we are in danger, or when we don't have the space to think for whatever reason. Okay, now when we intentionally choose where to place our time, when we create sense of time abundance, when we tell our brain that, hey, I want to be much more of my child self and use my intrinsic strengths, then I'll use language from Buddhism. What we are doing is we're watering the more wholesome seeds within our store consciousness, and we don't have to worry about pulling out the weeds and pulling out all our saboteurs. Our saboteurs were our coping mechanism. May they always be available to us. If a bus is hurtling towards you, I'll not ask you, Maitri, please analyze and think, is this bus coming left, right, whatever. I'll say, please go to your coping mechanism and do what you did as a child because it kept you alive. If your child said, jump out of the way and hide under a rock, please do that. But when does that occasion come up? It actually comes up so very rarely. You don't need them on a daily basis anymore. Yeah. And please trust that is enough wired in us that it is always available to us, because our ability to pull up a memory folder that relates to survival and belonging to a tribe, those are so strong in our brains that the brain will instantaneously pick that file and load it for you in crisis. You don't have to practice it on a daily basis. Practice who you want to be. Practice watering your wholesome seeds. And slowly, you will use these less on a regular basis. You will self-sabotage less.
Yes, I agree on that. और संध्या, अगर कोई वुमन हमें इस वक्त सुन रही है एंड हु फील्स कि अरे ये तो मैं ही हूँ, कि मैं, मेरे पास अगर लव आ रहा है, सक्सेस आ रही है या पीस आ रही है, मैं उसको पुश अवे कर देती हूँ,
हम्म,
तो ऐसा कौन सा पहला स्टेप है जो वो ले सकती है टुवर्ड्स स्टॉपिंग दिस पैटर्न, और एटलीस्ट कि हाँ चलो पूरा स्टॉप नहीं कर सकते बट हाँ धीरे धीरे इस पे काम कर सकते हैं, तो व्हाट वुड बी द फर्स्ट स्टेप?
it's almost impossible for us to step out of our own heads and look at ourselves from the outside.
या
Okay? For you, for me, for Einstein, for anybody, it is one of the hardest things to do. And the nature of self sabotaging is that, like I said, so very familiar, and it will feel like this is me. It it is telling us a lie that not only that this is me, but this is how I'm keeping you safe, sweetheart. Sandhya, I'm doing this for your own good. Okay, so but how do we, but when the person is, to anybody listening, the first way to recognize is the awareness that while this feels familiar, while it's keeping me safe, it's not helping me thrive. And how do I recognize that? Because of these uncomfortable feelings. So as a first step, I'll always say, bring pause rituals into your life. Okay, will, now that I have stopped my self sabotage in one area, will I become free of self? No, Maitri. I'll start to self sabotage in some other area where my energy is going so much, and if it's like a music system, the dial turns up little too high, it becomes from a strength to a saboteur. So how do I keep that in check? Is actually creating these pause rituals. Easy ways to do it is, as soon as you wake up in the morning, before you rush into your day, or God forbid, pick up your dreaded phone and start scrolling or checking your email, do it. Before checking that, check here. Okay, do a quick body scan and just say, how am I feeling right now? And initially we will not even have words to give that answer, कि मैं बोल भी नहीं पाऊंगी कि मेरे अंदर क्या हो रहा है. Actually, चाहे चाहे सिर दर्द हो या हार्ट ब्रेक हो, इट इज ऑल व्हाट वी कॉल एन अफेक्ट. इट इज जस्ट सम न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर, सॉल्ट, शुगर, अप डाउन, के जिसकी वजह से हम पहचान पा रहे हैं कि अरे इसको सिर दर्द बोलते हैं, इसको हार्ट ब्रेक बोलते हैं, या इसको स्टमक लेग क्रैम्प बोलते हैं. Okay, so we learn to give words to the ones that are most obvious to us. Then we learn to become more granular in that language. कि मुझे थोड़ा अजीब लगा, और क्यों अजीब लग रहा है? क्योंकि किसी ने कुछ बोला था कल, और like one client said to me just before our podcast today, I felt discomfort. तो मैंने बोला, ये discomfort क्या होता है? It's a very vague word. I mean, मैंने
हाँ.
vague नहीं बोला, but it is, we use, in fact, we use shortcuts. Sad, bad, mad, glad. But the more granular we get in this, we'll understand better. क्यों discomfort हुआ? क्योंकि मैं कुछ चाहता था और मेरी बीवी नहीं मान रही थी. और मैंने बोला कि छोड़ दो. मैंने बोला छोड़ दो, कि ठीक है, बीवी के साथ झगड़ा नहीं करना है. That, see how the word discomfort, which he was so quick to dismiss, has, sorry, I'm
हाँ.
giving an example of a man, but I could give, as because he was just before.
That is understandable, relatable for everyone.
How, and because sometimes men are in fact given fewer languages. So as a woman, we can help the people around us,
Yeah.
and by starting to help ourselves by creating more granular language in this body scan. Our brain, our mind, our body is constantly giving us feedback. We are just not listening to it. Okay, Sandhya, you are forcing me to to get up and go and climb this other mountain today. But what I would really like to be doing is get 1 hour of extra sleep.
हाँ.
And build up, build up, build up. I build up such a big deficit that one day I will just collapse.
Yeah.
How much more useful if I were to listen to this and say, okay, do I really need to, we can do something called cognitive challenging or cognitive reappraisal. Do I really need to turn in that report? I know I told my manager that I'll send it in tomorrow, but this is an internal report. Could I speak to my manager and say, look, I've had a rough couple of days. Is it all right if I send it in 3 hours later, or after the weekend, right? And believe me, the world is kinder than we believe that it is. And we have a lot more agency than we believe that we have. So I'm not saying that talo, the more you do work that you enjoy, the more your life feels more in the direction that you want to go. You'll actually have more potential energy that will convert to kinetic energy to work. Right? We only procrastinate because we are doing things that where the standard is too high or that doesn't intrinsically suit us. We have very poor trust of ourselves. That's one of the biggest illusions of our time, cognitive illusions that we call it, collective illusions that we call it, that we cannot be trusted, the child cannot be trusted. So first step, pause ritual, check in, listen, and advocate for yourself, and start paying attention to what everything that's coming up, right? And it's not one or the other. The true way forward will be somewhere. ऐसा नहीं कि आज स्कूल नहीं जाना, काम पे नहीं जाना है. It's not that. Just saying that, sweetheart, क्या हो रहा है? That I've had such a long week. Then you might say to yourself, okay, go, but ask your manager if you can just leave 2 hours earlier today. You've just advocated for yourself. The child may not get 100% of what they want, but the child deserves to express herself, and you can advocate for yourself, is also what I'm trying to say.
यस यस आई थिंक इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्योंकि हम अपनी ही फीलिंग्स को अपने ही डिस्कम्फर्ट को जैसे आपने बोला हम डिसमिस कर देते हैं कि ठीक है फील हो रहा होगा बट अभी जो करना है ऑब्वियसली करना है लेकिन थोड़ी सी सोच के करेंगे अवेयर होके करेंगे तो आई थिंक यू विल डू बेटर फॉर योर सेल्फ एंड इन द एंड संध्या टेल अस कि सेल्फ सैबोटाज से रिलेटेड कोई एक चीज जो हर किसी को याद रखनी चाहिए जिससे कि हम इस पैटर्न में जब स्लिप होने लगे तो हम अपने आप को रोक पाए
जी. मैं 2 चीज़ें बोलूँगी. They are like two sides of the same coin. पहली बात, when I said pause, literally time out, name your saboteur to tame it. क्या ये मेरा inner critic है? क्या ये मेरा pleaser है? क्या ये मेरा overachiever है? Okay? So name it to tame it. Sometimes we are scared to name it because we think that it is going to be me, or लोग क्या सोचेंगे. Name it to tame it, right? And the other side of that coin is, अगर हमारे पास saboteur है, अगर हमारे अंदर saboteur है, तो हमारे अंदर wisdom भी है. So the child is wise. The child actually understands what they need. कोई भी टॉडलर को देखेंगे ना, तो उनको जब भूख लगी है तो वो मांगेंगे ही खाना. जब थकान सा लगता है वो सोएगा. Okay, we know. Please know that the child is wise and far more in tune with their inner body. Far more intrinsically, we are altruistic. Intrinsically, we are helpful. Maitri. So we are not our if just because we have let ourselves voice what is हमारे अंदर की बात, does not mean that हम लोग काम ही नहीं करेंगे, हम लोग कुछ अचीव नहीं करना चाहेंगे, कि हम लोग we going to become a waste. हमने ऐसा बात सुना है बचपन में. Oh, don't become, you'll be good for nothing. हाँ बाप रे, if I hear that word now I want to cry only. But no, you will not be good for nothing. In fact, you will be your best self. So the wisdom of on the one side, and name your saboteur to tame it on the other.
ओके गॉट इट तो संध्या जो हम लोगों ने बात की ना सेल्फ सैबोटेज के बारे में आई एम वेरी हैप्पी कि इट वाज नॉट टेक्निकल इट वाज वेरी स्टोरी बेस्ड और काफी रिलेटेबल था देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स इफ वी गेट इनटू साइकोलॉजी ऑफ इट साइंस ऑफ इट तो बहुत सारी चीजें निकल के आ सकती हैं बट आई थिंक दिस इज वेरी एक्शनेबल व्हाट यू taught us today so if my listeners want to connect with you and they want to find out more about your work where should we send them
Thank you. First of all, I'm always so worried that I spout too much science, or I want to, but because I work with people on a daily basis, I'm forced to convert it into practical. So thank you for that. Yes, I'm very, very easy to find. I'm on LinkedIn, Sandhya Krishnan. I'm on Instagram, Sunday Krish. I have a website called dynamicliving.co. I'm very accessible. I may not have a lot of bandwidth, but I'm always available to answer a question. Everything that I do in my paid coaching, I put out for free. And when people ask me questions, I always try and answer it for them, even without the professional help, unless there's, you go into the realm of ill health or like mental health disorder. Trust that you are capable of problem solving. 80 to 90% you will be able to solve on your own, even if a professional didn't step in. You might need an accountability partner, but you can solve. And don't hesitate to ask just because you think the other person may be very busy. And of course, if it's a case that I could have the bandwidth to take up, of course I will help. But information is always available. That I'm happy for people to approach and ask as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Sandhya, for sharing your insights, your knowledge with us, and thank you so much for your time to Little Fixes.
Thank you so much, Maitri. I love what you do. So all the very best to you as well.
Thank you.